Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Bob here, your virtual upline. Today, I want to talk to you about goal setting. It is the 1st of May. I'm sure there were many of you that were pushing real hard last night and yesterday to try to hit whatever goal that you had set for yourself in April. And in spirit with what we discussed in the Rank Advancement Blueprint Masterclass, I want to just reinforce what we taught in there as a separate little mini lesson on what I believe to be really the right way to set goals for your business. So I'm going to kind of walk you through that process. It'll be a reinforcement of what you learned in the masterclass, but I'll probably give you a little bit of a different way to look at it, as I often do with these kind of weekly lives. Now, hey, before I get into that, a couple of big announcements. I want to remind you that today at 1 o'clock is the Brock Johnson Instagram training that we've had to reschedule a couple different times. Here's who should be interested in checking this out. Any of you that are really looking to make Instagram more of a focus for yourself in this year when it comes to your business, but specifically those of you that are really just kind of getting started. You know, you're looking to grow your account to those first 1,000 followers and beyond, and you're just trying to figure out, hey, how do I make this thing work for me? Today at 1 o'clock, Brock and I will be streaming right here in the group, and I promise you it'll be a really, really good training. You'll have a chance to ask him some questions, and so make sure you check that out. And the other big announcement that I have, and this really will affect your team outside of this group, is we are going to be publicly announcing today that live stream tickets are on sale for Summit. So I announced on Monday that all of you were able to start to buy your live stream tickets. We have a special LLA member only pricing where you can get tickets for $97. That includes all 3 days of the live stream and lifetime access to all the recordings, okay? If you want to get access to those tickets, then all you have to do is go to yourvirtualupline.com/LLA live stream. Now, today we're going to announce for the general public, we're going to be sending an email. You all will get one. Tickets are going to be $147. That's only going to be good until Sunday, and I'll put the address in the post here, but the tickets will be available at yourvirtualupline.com/live stream. And I want to give a special heads up to you. We are today in the email, and every one of you will get this email. We are going to be sending the itinerary out to you. So we have all 3 days of trainings and segments scheduled. So you're going to get a chance to see who's talking, what are we talking about, what times. So then this way, see, because I don't know about you, but I always, especially if I'm doing like a live stream ticket for an event, if I'm at the event, it's different because I'm there, right? But if I'm doing a live stream ticket for an event, like I kind of want to know like what's happening when, so that I can plan my life around certain segments. So we're sending out the itinerary today in the email. Keep an eye out. You'll see all the speakers, all the times, all that good stuff. And I'm really fired up because this is by far going to be the best event ever. So, okay, cool. Enough with the announcements. Let's get back to the topic. So it is the 1st of the month. And one of the things that we taught in the masterclass, this idea that it is really important that you need to, as a leader, you need to learn how to slow down in order to speed up. And what that means is, unless you're really running your business like a business, which means that you're taking some time to intentionally start tracking your key numbers of your business, your weekly activity, you're charting your weekly progress towards your stated goals, you're looking at your organization from a different mindset. But part of that is when we come to goal setting, what you really need to do is you need to take a day or two each month to really think about where your business is and where you want it to go, right? To look at the month in front of you and where you are and say, okay, what What's a realistic but a stretch goal for me this month? And instead of just pulling a number out of thin air like a lot of people do, if you've got a team, you should be including your people as part of your overall goal setting process. So what I recommend to do is really just a couple of different steps. First thing you want to do is you want to identify who are the key people on your team this month in May that you're going to be personally working with. And understand that as a human being, you're limited. You're only going to be able to work with a handful of people at a time. You can't work with everyone. And I think that's the mistake a lot of leaders make, is they spread themselves too thin, right? They try to do a little bit for everyone, and there's no focus on moving the needle for key people. So the question you need to ask yourself first is, who am I going to be working with this month? Right? Maybe you have some new recruits. Well, that you've got to work with those people if they're out there doing something. But I would be identifying who are the 2 to 3 other key leaders on my team that I want to reach out to, engage in a conversation, and say, hey, look, I want to really help you accomplish your goals this month. Let's figure what that might be. Now, understand what I'm saying. I'm approaching goal setting from the mindset of a legacy leader, which is a servant leader, which is not making it about themselves. They're always making it about someone else, as opposed to what a lot of people do is they are self-serving leaders, and they approach goal setting only from the perspective of how can you get me to where I want to go, right? And those people are very obvious to us. We've all had those kinds of leaders. Maybe sometimes we've been that leader just because we didn't know any better, where it's like, 2 days before the end of the month, you haven't heard from them all month long, and now all of a sudden they're calling you up saying, hey, can you put orders in? I'm trying to hit a big goal. That's a self-serving leader. Servant leaders start the month, first day of the month, tomorrow, sometime this week. Take some time, reach out. Find out, what are your key people's goals? Hey, what's your goal for your business this month? Where are you? What can I do to help you get there? Let's map out a plan. Let's figure out what that next rank is for you. Let's figure out what we need to do to get you there. And here's what servant leaders, here's what legacy leaders do when it comes to goal setting, is they strategically, now keep in mind, you're making it about other people, but you always in the back of your mind, you've got your own goals in mind. So you're looking at your group and saying, okay, so if I need to hit my big goal, let me find someone in this team or this leg that I can start working with, so that I know if I can help them hit their goal, I'm naturally going to hit my goal just as a progression of that happening. But what you do is you create a goal that is meaningful and that is real, but it is based off of you helping other people get to where they want to go. And you help them set some specific goals, right? You really speak the belief into them that it is possible, right? Because you want to start changing and shaping their thinking, and you help them put together a plan of action that is based on them, on activity, not results. You get them to understand, maybe you share that weekly tracker sheet with them, and you say, hey, I want you to start tracking your activity because we want to help you figure out your prospecting ratio. Because when we go into the month of June, it's going to equip us to better help reasonably predict how you're going to hit that goal. You might not know yet because you don't know their prospecting ratio, right? But you're really making it about them, and then you're setting these goals, and then you're saying, okay, so based off of what I know, if I could help these people do this, and then maybe I do a little bit of my own work outside of that, what would be reasonable for me to expect for I could hit this month? And I'm telling you, after first couple of months you do this, you're kind of working through the kinks. But I'm telling you, once you get into the swing of this, what you're going to find is what is actually possible for you is so much more than what you think. If you really shift your mindset and you start running your business more intentionally. And here's what I love about this, is this goal that you'll come up with is something that's rooted in, it's real. It's something that will be motivating to you because you'll actually see how you can make this happen. And because you're going to be focused on other people's goals before yours, and that's going to be your conversations, is your leadership level is going to go through the roof with them. And then here's what you do. So the sooner you can do this, the better. And I recommend, by the way, you should, like, with the handful of people that you're going to do this with, and you don't need more than a handful. You don't need more than 2 to 3, maybe 4 at most, okay? You need to get laser focused in where your effort and your time is going to be this month. But here's the beauty of this, is that you do this over the next couple of days. Get on the phone with these people. Set up a time to talk by Zoom or the phone. You're not going to do this through Messenger. Get on the phone with them. Get on Zoom with them. It is really important that you do that. And then here's what happens is once you're all on the same page, you're all set, you set out, okay, you're going to go focus on activity. You know, we're going to have weekly touch points where we check in and see, hey, where are we in relation to that goal? Because that's the other thing. You can't set the goal in the beginning of the month and then just say, hey, okay. And then at the end, you're like, hey, where are you? You need to be holding them accountable, checking in. Where are we at the end of week 1? You know, at the midpoint of the month, you need to do a mid-month review. Hey, this stuff doesn't take a long time. Let's check in and see where we are in relation to our goals. Help them course correct. Most people are going to be off, they're not going to be on pace at mid-month. So maybe, let's figure out, let's recalibrate. What do we need to do? How many people have you been talking to? Like, it's this level of just getting your hands in other people's businesses. This is what the greatest leaders do. And for some of you that are watching this, you're like, yeah, Bob, this is what I do. I didn't even need to be taught this. I just did this because I understood this is how I help people. But some of you don't get this part. Some of you don't get how into other people's business. Like, I remember the first time that I was around somebody that was like a really extraordinary leader in this profession. We were driving to a meeting together. It was my sponsor, and I was in the back seat, and he picked up this leader. It was an out-of-town leader that came in. We picked him up at the airport, and we had to drive about 40 minutes to this meeting that we were doing. It was a big hotel meeting. And I remember sitting in the back seat, okay? And I was excited because I thought we were just going to be talking the whole time. And literally for 45 minutes, he was on the phone. Now, this was back before like Facebook messaging. He was on the phone with people for 45 minutes. Hey, what's going on? How'd that meeting go? What do you have planned? How many meetings next week? How many next week? I mean, I was like blown away. I'm like, oh my God, like I don't do this in my business, right? And I'm like, and I was so amazed at how proactive he was, inspecting what he expected, holding people accountable, calling them out, wanting to know, oh, how things going? Good. Yeah, but what's good mean? How many meetings did you do last week? How many meetings? Like, I was blown away. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm not doing this the right way. But it opened my eyes to what it meant, like what it means to really run your business like you are a CEO. And here's the beautiful thing about this. When you start treating your business this way, you stop treating it like a hobby, like it's a side gig, this little thing you do on the side, right? It's like when you start running it like a business, it starts paying you like a business. So that's my challenge to you today. Perfect timing, okay? Perfect timing, first of the month. I want you to start thinking about who are the key people on my team that I'm going to be engaging in this process with. And if you need a reminder on what I told you, go back to the masterclass. The PDF guide that we have has all of the steps that I just went over with you. So make sure you check that out. And I hope all of you have an amazing month of May and absolutely crush it. So hey, just quick thing, 1 o'clock today, if you join late, is the Brock Johnson Instagram training. We'll be streaming live 1 o'clock Eastern in this group. So if you're looking to step up your Instagram game, check it out. And also keep an eye out for an email coming out today. We're going to be announcing all of the itinerary for Summit, and live stream tickets go on sale for the general public. All of your teams go on sale today. You'll get an email from us sometime today. So take care, everybody. Talk to you soon.